Hey, thanks for tuning in. In this video, we're going to talk about the labels Jewish and Judaism, why I think we should never use either term. Now, there are two overarching reasons why I believe we shouldn't say such a thing. Number one, it's not accurate. Number two, it's not useful. So it's not accurate if we are seeking to follow the biblical written commands, because Judaism is a later perversion of this. Just like Christianity, it's a later change, a later belief system that isn't about what is written in the commands that were given to God's people through Moses. It's a later invention. And so Judaism, even by its very name, is a product of Jewish belief, a product of the tribe of Judah, and of course all of the rabbinic traditions and all of the observances that were not a part of the way that God established for his people originally. And so I think it's inaccurate if we're seeking to follow the written commands. And so that leaves us with it's not useful. So how is it not useful to use such a label? And I think this applies regardless of what little technical explanation we put on the end of it or in the beginning of it. So if we say we're Karaite Jewish, or we observe the more ancient Judaism or something like that, regardless of all the little technical explanations, I think it's totally unuseful. And let me provide a comparison here, hopefully for more clarity. So say we're going into the supermarket and we're looking at some produce, we're looking through some fruit, and we see, apples, oranges, bananas, we know about that. And then all of a sudden we see this weird object that we've never seen before. It's some foreign produce, and we look at the sign and it has a whole bunch of foreign words on it that we've never seen before, but at the end it says fruit. So we think, oh, I don't know about all this other stuff, but this is some kind of fruit. And we already know that there are like two basic kinds of fruit. There's the kind of fruit that has the peel that we don't want to eat and the peel that we do want to eat. And so we're looking at it and think, oh, okay, I guess I'll take this peel off, and it's got probably some sweet, fruity flesh on the inside to eat. And it might have some seeds or some kind of membrane that I might remove and not eat. But we know the basic plot of things. We know, regardless of all these little technicalities about what this exact fruit is, we have an idea of how to handle it. Well, this is the same thing when we're talking with someone about our beliefs. And someone might ask us in some rare situation, well, what is it exactly that you believe? What is this that you're observing and practicing? And we totally squander the situation, squander that opportunity if we say, well, I'm such and such form of Judaism or something like it. They instantly, if they're a Christian, they go to, oh, Judaism. I know what that's about. They're the people that just haven't realized who the Messiah is. And because of the nature of Christianity in general, because of where they put their attention, that's all that matters. And they totally cut off any opportunity for learning, because they don't even realize that there is anything that they could learn from you. They think that, okay, well, I may not know all the details about each individual command, for example. They may not know anything about the tassels or something like that, and they'll probably realize that on some level. But they think that what matters is the messianic stuff, and therefore you are the one that needs to learn about the messianic stuff, and that you do not have anything of consequence to share with them at that point. And so it doesn't matter whether we say, well, we're not Jewish, but kind of, like if we were talking about that fruit and we're saying, well, it's not a fruit, but it kind of is. We're going to think, oh, okay, well, it's kind of like a fruit. We're going to respond to it the way that we would with fruit. And it's the same way with Judaism. In Christian beliefs, just by the very nature of Christian beliefs, they have this idea built up about how they are to respond to Jewish people. And so it's, well, if I'm going to help them, then I need to help them learn that all the prophecies were fulfilled and that who their Messiah really is, and that they just need to figure that out, and then they will be Christian like me, kind of thing. Well, if we just fall into using a label like Jewish or Judaism, we cut off any potential for them to learn. And we simply don't know what we don't know. And this goes for anyone, not just Christians in this situation, but any subject we don't really know about, we don't know what we don't know. So say we go to learn some new skill or a new subject, we may realize we don't really know about this skill, we don't really know about this subject, but until we start studying it and start studying the basics of it, oh, I didn't realize all this was involved in that, or all this was going on. And so we begin to realize that, oh, there are things that we don't know. Well, the same thing goes on in regard to Christianity when compared to the biblical law. In Christianity, they simply do not know that there is anything of value that they are going to learn from someone who observes it. And they just don't know what's going on because they don't think they could have missed something so vital. And so what I think that we should do is we should leverage these opportunities instead of squandering them. We should try to use them in the way we know best to hopefully reveal to the person that there might be something they could learn. There might be something that they didn't realize was going on. And so while I do not consider this some kind of perfect explanation or anything, and I don't think that it's going to work in every situation by any means, an example of this might be, so someone's asking me, so what is it that you believe? What is it that you're practicing? Well, I used to be a pretty devout Christian, I thought, and I was studying the Bible, and I realized the Bible says that the law cannot be changed. The Bible says that we're supposed to follow after God's commandments. And I realized in Deuteronomy 4:2 and Deuteronomy 12:32, it tells us that the law is not supposed to be added to, it's not supposed to be taken away from. And it even says that future prophets aren't allowed to do this either. That what we're supposed to do is do what God has commanded as good and right. And we're supposed to continue doing it. It even prophesies that God's people are going to return to his commandments in the future. A future prophecy is yet to be fulfilled. And so I believe that what we should be doing is doing as God commanded, because he said it's supposed to be done all the days. Now, if I provide an explanation like that, I am not under the delusion that, that person's instantly going to think, oh, okay, well, show me this new way and I'll do it. I don't think that at all. But I think there might be maybe a 1% chance that afterward, the person will be off on their own and they'll be thinking about just events of the day or something, and they'll think, that guy said something about the law can't be changed. I wonder where he got that from. I wonder if the Bible actually says that. Even if it's just a 1% chance that the person could say that, that is far more useful than just telling them, well, I'm some kind of Jewish. Because in my view, in most cases, that's just going to totally cut off any opportunity. It's totally squandering that opportunity that you had to share with the person. And once again, this isn't necessarily a perfect solution, but even if we're increasing the odds from 0.1% to 1%, that's a huge increase. And it has a lot more opportunity to help someone than just telling someone a label. Just telling someone a label, it might alleviate confusion, and it might seem like we resolved the situation. But in reality, it's not useful. Talking about being Jewish, talking about Judaism, even if we say not Jewish or not Judaism, it's not useful and it's not accurate. So I think what we should do instead is use what we can to show people there's something to learn. And the thing that there is to learn is that God's commandments are still relevant today. And I think we should use these rare opportunities. We shouldn't just squander them, that we should use them in a way that we know to be more useful. So thanks for watching. Feel free to like this video and share it if you think it could be useful to other people. And feel free to subscribe so we can stay in touch and so we can continue this conversation. Thanks for watching. Remember the commands. Peace.